Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. I've been doing some testing with the latest release of stuff, and honestly, I'm not impressed. Just like Sovereign used to say, they give you with one hand and they slap you with the other. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some important topics. First of all, what happened to the coupon store, and how we got tricked, and, well, now we're pretty upset, and we don't know if we're going to get any compensation for that. We did get some, but, just 20,000 coupons. That's not even close to the amounts that we lost. We're also going to be talking about the auto looters. Yeah, I know, they're called Auto Salvagers, but they're not doing any salvaging, they're just looting. And I'm just going to call them that. Third, we're going to cover the Paywall, which I foretold, and, well, people made fun of me.
No way!
Well, it's sad, but I guess I'm just the only one laughing now.
You're fired!
And lastly, we're going to be announcing the Community Question of the Week winners. We've got 3 lucky winners, and of course, in the end, we will announce the new Community Question of the Week for you guys to participate and to gain a chance of winning one of the 3 Omega Combo clones. Yeah, that's 30 days of Omega Duo Bundle, whatever you want to call it. And the giveaway that we're hosting here every week is pretty much fun, interesting, and engageful in the comment section. So let us begin. Number 1, what happened to the coupon store? Well, if you guys remember, it was a section of the store that was available for the Chinese New Year celebration, and it was this splendid coupon store, and it had a bunch of stuff, including some nanocores, and a bunch of skins, and a bunch of other stuff. The most important item in here was the rig integrating module. People made a lot of cash, a lot of ISK out of that specific purchase. Now it's just limited to 2 times, it was limited to 20 times, and it was pretty awesome because you had the chance of getting some of those 1 billion worth of integrated rigs. The chances were low, but you did have the chance, and I actually had the chance. Out of the 20 boxes that I opened, I got at least 3. And they were worth it. In the coupon store, there was also the Classify to Gravitational Wavegraph Scanner, in which, you know, I pretty much did a video on that, mentioning that it's pretty much worthless. Don't buy it, because it was. You would have to spend 50,000 coupons just to get it, or buy it off the market for 300 million. That was the lower price, which appeared later down the road. But the first time this module appeared on the market from players selling it, it was close to 1 billion. And the rewards from doing such a site was, well, not that great. 45 to 75 million in loot. There was also a very rare chance of getting a rift spawn from that scanner, and indeed that rift spawn would yield you close to 1 billion worth of loot, but that was extremely rare, and I actually did some tests. Out of 50 scanners used on the test server, I was only able to generate 2 such rifts. Not to mention, this is probably implausible for a player to buy 50 of these scanners, basically because you wouldn't be able to get so many coupons, and of course you could spend it on the market, but it was just a gamble, and before you got the rift you probably saw that 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 such scanners yielded pretty much crap, and you just abandoned the process. So why are the people upset? Well, before the Chinese year ended and we got the coupon store closed down, the announcement came that we should use all the coupons. Benzi covered this as well. You can go ahead and check his video, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, the coupon store was about to get closed, and you had all that coupons, you pretty much grabbed whatever you could. If you didn't manage to get one of those nanocores, because you weren't able to reach that crazy big amount of coupons, 400,000 coupons to get one of those faction battleship nanocores, well, you probably just spent all your coupons, so you wouldn't end up just, you know, losing them all. And you pretty much bought everything that you can find here just to spend them all and go home with something. Well, it turns out that the ship rental program has returned due to popular demand, and the coupon store also got opened. What does that mean? If you used up all your coupons before the store was closed, life is sad. And it's going to be pretty hard to gain a momentum in coupon generation, basically because you can only gain coupons either from the ship rental program, which will last until 30th of March, or just by buying stuff with real money off from the store, which also grants you some couple thousand coupons. So here we are talking about the paywall, which is real, by the way, because we can't talk about the paywall without actually observing it. This means we're going to leave the review of the auto looters for last. Don't fret, there's pretty much amusement in the store. So with the release of Auto Looters, they've also introduced 3 new skills, which is the basic auto looting, auto salvaging, I'm gonna call them as they are. Auto salvaging, advanced auto salvaging, and expert auto salvaging, which are skills that you cannot acquire normally. You need to find skill chips, and then you will be able to inject the skill, and then probably train it even further, like in level 5, because the skill chips only take you to level 3. So one might ask, well, how do you find these skill chips? Well, you can't buy them from the market. From what I've seen, not in the recommended section. Usually stuff would be here, like to buy with real money. If you want that, you should buy it. No, they went with a different strategy this time. It's all hidden inside the Splendid coupon. Given the fact that you don't have enough time to generate in 1 month enough Splendid coupons to buy plenty of Classified 2 gravitational wave graphs, which are also limited to just 10 times. You can only buy 10 out of the store, which means you'll have to generate 450,000 coupons, which is near impossible just by using the ship rental program, which means that you have to get these Classified 2 gravitational wave graphs from somewhere else. And yeah, there's other boxes that you can buy with Aurum and with Plex, which can give you, or will give you, a Classified 2 gravitational wave graph. And you think this is not the paywall? Well, yeah, you can still buy it with Plex, you can still buy it with ISK, because other people are putting it on the market. Yeah, but those people bought it off with real money. So it is a paywall, but for the players that just have too much ISK on their hands and want to get stuff from the market, yeah, they can do that. This doesn't mean it's not a paywall. Not at all. Now, if you are thinking that you can get these Classified 2 gravitational wave graphs and get all the skill chips and all the auto looters, the ore one, the Galente one, aside from the standard, whatever it's called, Dust Auto Salvager, which you can get for 30,000 coupons, if you think for one moment that you can get everything out with just one gravitational scanner, you, my fellow Coinser, are wrong. Couldn't be more wrong. Horribly wrong.
This case is empty.
And they call me bitter.
You're fired!
I did some tests just so I don't present you with anecdotal evidence, and on the test server I just used 50 gravitational wave graphs. Yeah, just like my previous tests back in those nasty days when I told everyone to not buy this item. And guess what? The ratio of spawning a rift is still the same, which is 2 rifts, or 3, I think I got 3 rifts out of 50 scanners. So the rest of the sites were just regular sites, and you just warp to it. There's no gravitational rift, there's no needless space, so you just go in there. It's high sec, low sec, even null sec. There's I don't know, 4 cans in space which you loot, and there's no NPC guarding it and whatever, so you just loot all the stuff inside, and that's it. The site is over. And yeah, the loot table is still pretty much the same, and you still get around 20 million to 70 million ISK in loot from this standard site. But sometimes 1 in 10 of these graph scan standard sites generated, you will find either a special auto salvager, an auto looter, or you might find a skill chip. But that is not that great. Like, the ratio of finding one is so low. I mean, I don't even care about the percentages that they're advertising. Percentages suck, especially if you see 0 point something. It's definitely not going to happen. You're going to have a hard time finding something, and of course, when you do, you're going to be so hyped, you're going to put it on the market, and that's how you'll make money. Because I don't even recommend you injecting the skill, because we'll talk about the Auto Salvagers later and why they are so stupid. So just for a quick recap, out of 50 scanners, I got just 2 or 3 spatial rifts, and I got 1 in 10 sites I received a chip or a module, which is from the new content of the auto salvaging stuff. Is it worth it? Oh, hell no. But there'll be other players that say, no, this is definitely not a paywall, because you're incentivized to buy as much of these as possible, if not from here, either from the market. But let's just say you're not a new player, but you're not a very old player. You're someone down the road, on the middle of stuff, and you have some but you can't afford buying so many graph scanners from the market. So what are your other chances and possibilities to obtain such a scanner? Well, the other one will be getting trafficking containers, which we used to sell for just 100,000 ISK, but since the new content launched, the prices have skyrocketed, and they're now selling with 3 million ISK a piece. And you can find them here in the market section under the other items, special items, and there you have it. You got secret trafficking container, which can also drop if you want to spend Plex. You can also get some of those nanocores. I think it's Dark Halo or something, whatever. 1 or 2 months ago, I looked at the loot table and something wasn't here. If you go ahead and check out the detail, you see the key open rewards and you see the force open rewards. Now, in the key open rewards, this was here. The Classify 2 gravitational wave graph, and it was here with a probability of 9%, if I'm not mistaken. Now, they just boosted up a little of 14.45%, which is still low. I mean, it says that in 50% of cases that you open such trafficking container, you might get one of these gravitational wave graphs, but only when you open up with the key. Well, recently someone pointed out that, well, dude, you're wrong. You can get these from just force opening them. And I say, like, no, you can't. No, it's in there. And indeed, after inspecting it a second time in 2 months, lo and behold, we have it here in the force open rewards. They added it to the loot table, and it's with just, I think it was with 0.14%, and it was present right before the event. I think they added it last month or so, and then they boosted the percentage of you getting one of these by force opening them.
You serious?
And you can get them. Yeah, right, my ass you can. It's 0.34. You know what you will get most of the times? I'll tell you what you'll get most of the times. You'll get the metal scraps, which sits at 33.7% chances of getting metal scraps. You'll get plenty of other stuff, like in Charred Micro, whatever, Damaged Artificial Neural Network, which it's just shitty rig materials, not the advanced ones. No, it's just, you know, the orange ones. Yeah, the Classify 2 gravitational wave graph sitting at 0.34%. I opened 120 containers on the test server. I did not get one gravitational wave graph scanner, and I'm willing to show you guys. If you can see in the background, I'm opening 20 containers that I had, because the rest of them, when the prices just janked up, I immediately sold them. Why wouldn't I? So I kept around 20 cans just to, I don't know, to amuse myself. So I opened them all and got exactly squat, zero, nothing. And they say I'm bitter. And it's not a paywall.
You're fired!
Wah, wah, wah. Look at this. There's incentive all over the place for you to go into the store and buy the gravitational and recommended the wave graph pack. It costs 120 aurum, and you get one graph and almost 5,000 splendid coupons. Also limited to 10 times. But the paywall is there. The skills themselves are locked behind a paywall. And people would argue with me that, well, you know, you can put them on the market. Yeah, you can put them on the market, but somebody else paid to get those. They're pretty difficult to get, and no wonder. Just a question: what happens after these? I don't know. This event ends. What happens with the auto looters? With the salvaging skills? How do you get them afterwards? Is this just a train hype that tricks people into buying because it's going to be a limited edition time? Well, if this is an item introduced for the entire community, why is just a portion of the community able to get them, or might be able to get them? Some of you might not get them even after investing billions or swiping that Visa card one too many times. So how is this an item that would benefit the community, especially since they mentioned in the announcement that, well, the community asked for it and we gave it to you? How they gave it to us? Well, with a big fuck you. So yeah, you might just wait for the stuff to calm down. Maybe the items will appear in the market, but so far, as I've seen and interpreted the market, well, let's say that a skill chip, like the basic skill chip, sells on the market for 2 billion right now, and there's buy orders for 1 billion. Regular players won't even be able to afford such nonsense. And by the way, a quick heads up: if you really want these skills and items so desperately, don't swipe the Visa card for buying the scanners off the store. It's not worth it, because the chances of getting one such item or skill chip is so low that you'll be just throwing your money down the drain. The best bet would be just to, I don't know, get some plex with your Aurum and convert that plex into ISK and buy whatever you want from the market. So you can buy a custom Auto Salvager, Auto Looter for around 1 billion, that's 400 plex. You can get the basic skill chip for 1 billion, 2 billion, that's 400 plex or 800 plex. But I think this is the best bet of getting anything, as opposed to spending money on the store trying to get an item that will get you an item that you might get an item to be able to get an item. What the actual...
It's a trap!
So let's talk a bit about the Auto Salvagers themselves, or the Auto Looters, because they don't salvage, they loot. Salvaging, as mentioned previously, it's something that is in EVE Online because the wrecks contain the loot. You loot the wreck does not despawn because you can activate a salvager on the wreck and it will yield salvage materials, which is the rig materials, the ones that you use to manufacture rigs. In the EVE Echoes, this was completely redesigned and it hasn't changed with the introduction of these specific modules. And people argued with me on Reddit mentioning that you know nothing, how can you review something before it's launched, how do you know this and that? Well, I just have a keen sense of smell of ass crap design, and when I see it I can recognize this before the items, before the content is being launched. I've developed this in 2 years of playing this game and interacting with this studio, and I pretty much know stuff before it happens without having access to any information. I just happen to figure stuff out. Now, after 2 years of this practice that they've been doing, it's fairly easy to foresee exactly what's it gonna be. There's no other way. And don't get me wrong, I do love the game, I enjoy playing it. I don't understand what the hell are they doing with it, because this could be so much more than it is. EVE is the best mobile game right now, if you ask me. It's the best sandbox experience, and they're wiping their ass with it, and this is what we get. Anyway, I digress. Let's compare these 3 items, and let's take a look at the Dust Auto Salvager, which you can get from the coupon store with just 30,000 coupons. And oh, what bollocks! So optimal range 7.5 kilometers. Well, it looks like the screenshots were true after all. Optimal range 7.5 kilometers, you say? What can you do with it? Well, pretty much nothing. With a 10 seconds cooldown, your looting range is 10 kilometers. You can pretty much loot by yourself without this module occupying a mid-slot. Yeah, this Dust Auto Salvager is complete bullcrap. The range might be increased with those kill chips that you can get, but good luck finding those, and good luck buying them off the market for 2 billion ISK. Moving along to the second one, which is the Galente Auto Salvager, and the Galente Auto Salvager has a default optimal range of 10 kilometers. Yeah, that will also increase with the skill chips but I don't know, having them all 3 in level 5. We'll take a look at the skills themselves and we'll see what we get in level 5 just for the basic, because that one is trading, as I mentioned, for 2 billion ISK. And how do I know? Well, because I just sold one for 2 billion ISK, and if you don't believe me, I just have it right here in my wallet. Look at that. That's 2 billion ISK. I just found one single skill chip in how many scanners? I think it was 8 scanners, and I found one and I just sold it for 2 billion, and I was so fucking happy, and that's it. I was done. You're wondering, how did I got the scanners? Well, I got them from the market before they were up and running to 300 million ISK, and they were lower. They were around 100 million ISK or so. So I managed to get a couple of those. And, well, at the 6th or 7th one, I just got a skill chip. And at the 8th one, gave me a Galente Auto Looter. And that's it. I'd say that I made a little profit, which is good. So moving along to the number 3, or Auto Salvager, which is a Blisses 12.5 kilometers in range, also 10-second activation time. This is probably the only one that's worth your interest, but it's going to be so high in price if you find it on the market. Just out of sheer curiosity, can we find one? Oh look, it's selling for 3.5 billion ISK. It's almost the price of a rattlesnake. Congratulations.
You're fired!
So is it worth investing in this technology? Well, yes and no, and probably yes, but not right now. No, because, well, in May, we saw on the trailer that we will be getting an MTU, which is the Mobile Tractor Unit. Now, in EVE Online, Mobile Tractor Units also grab the wrecks from 100 kilometers top range, grab it near the MTU with the tractor beam, and then they auto loot the wreck, and they scoop up their contents. So my question is, if that item is introduced in May, why does this item still exist? What is its purpose? And then somebody on Reddit suggested, well, it's going to be a 2-step action, because with the MTU, it's going to be grabbing the wrecks, and with this auto looter, you'll be looting the wrecks. And I said, well, the MTU is already like grabbing the wrecks and scooping up their contents. And then it dawned me, out of one perfectly balanced, fully functional item in EVE Online, they managed to do 2 items. They split the functionalities, and probably, I don't know, the MTUs are also going to be delivered in content, just the same as the Auto Salvager, with the same probably skills behind the store and all that to trick you into getting more stuff. And I have nothing against anyone, and I'm perfectly fine with people spending real money in the store trying to get, but people, good lord in heavens, why would you spend so much on this, which is not even a guarantee? I mean, there's a bunch of auto-clicking games like, I don't know, AFK Arena or whatever, and at 10 draws you're guaranteed to get, I don't know, an epic card or something. Here, you're not guaranteed to get squat. And if you try harder, you might get some, but you're probably not. The market right now is pretty much devoid of content when it comes to these items. There's only 3 of these here, 1 of that there, and this one is probably going to have much more because you can get this from the coupon store with actual coupons, and they did compensate us for 20,000 coupons because they failed and they reopened the coupon store with the nanocore boxes which weren't supposed to be there. All in all, in my opinion, this specific content is not such a good investment. If you're trying to get these items for yourself, you better just, I don't know, wait for stuff to calm down, and maybe I don't really understand how this is only going to be exclusive for this event. How are people going to be able to get these afterwards? I'm definitely sure that they'll be introducing after the hype is gone and they've made enough cash. They'll, I don't know, just put it in the store for some, I don't know, currencies, or you'll find it in the Concord Pass, whatever. Otherwise, well, that's going to be extremely dumb. More rare items and skills which are not available to the general public except if behind a paywall. This is very concerning to me. So I've been talking like a madman for I don't know what time it is. But anyway, that stuff gone, put behind us. Let's move over to the community question of the week. We are going to be announcing the winners first. The previous community question of the week was, what is the most pressing issue that hinders your gameplay and what you would like to see fixed ASAP? What is the most pressing issue that is bothering you? And I'm trying to get a list. By the way, all of you are winners in a manner of speaking, because I'm compiling all these issues and I'm going to send them to the devs in hopes, I don't know, some of them will get prioritized and fixed. So let's announce the giveaway winners. First winner is Kyosen with the comment. First of all, I'm sorry for your loss. May he rest in peace. Thank you, kind sir. Wishing you and your family all the best. To the question of what is affecting my gameplay in Eve Echoes the most, right now the tech level system is something that is discouraging me from playing the game more. I cannot specialize on a specific direction except when I hit a specific tech level. Like Scepters, for example. Yeah, this is something that I talked about since the beginning of the game. The tech tree is messed up, there's no specialization, it's all just a vertical. They didn't went like EVE Online progression is. They tried introducing these weird tech levels that are not working, and you reach a certain tech level and you have all the ships already unlocked for you, which is stupid because that does not give you an incentive to specialize, or at least there's no viable specialization that you can, I don't know, dive deep and not allow you to fly like the Arbitrator Covered Ops if you don't have some specific skills in 5. It's so easy to get on any ship that it's in our tech level that is just, I don't know, pretty bad. And all the ships are pretty much the same amongst each other, and the only difference between tech levels is just a couple of more in percentages in bonuses, which is again poor design. Congratulations, Kyosen. Let's move over to the next winner. It's Kyle with the comment, exploration, simple put, it's every boring and time consuming. I straight gave up on adventuring farther than my home system. I just scan my home system on whatever I get on, because there isn't any incentive or joy to do scanning exploration in the PvE spectrum, only frustration. Yeah, I understand you completely. After scanning for hours and only finding nothing or boxes that needs higher meta analyzer, no skill, no minigame need to crack the boxes, just RNG. Yeah, that is complete shit. I want to do treasure hunts where one has to decipher, find clues to the big X marks the spot, or follow a story chain or event. You scanned and looted or stole some data from an angel site, then the angel cartel might set a trap for next time you scan and warp to a site. This is something that I've been asking them to implement, like puzzles, mechanics, something that really affects like scanning. It's something that is dependent on the skill level of the player doing a specific minigame or something, not just RNG, because it's complete a waste of content and people get bored. And even though if you have max skills, you just have 24% chances of opening such a can, the highest level grades of can inside a relic or data site, which might just blow up in your face, not giving you any damage, but losing everything that's inside. Not to mention, the success chances are so crappy that even for the low standard cans, the ones that you have like 16 or 17 attempts, those still can blow up in your face because RNG. Congratulations, Kyle. Let's move over to our third and final winner. And it's Smooth as Water with the comment, there are 3 main things about EE which I think need to be fixed. Number 1, of course, industry. I'm hoping that in the balance patch shortly thereafter, bullets will be added. This will add a great source of mineral and PI holes. Yeah, ammunition. They promised this ammunition, I think, a year ago. I don't see it anywhere. I'm also hoping that there are more encounters which remove ores from the game. Also, these need to be offered in all NPC stations. Number 2, tech level. We do not need the tech level anymore. True. Just like Chaos N mentioned. Originally, there were good ideas so the devs could have the time to get the ships in the upper tech level fixed. Now we don't need that. We know the ship work for the most part. What we need now is a system similar to EVE Online. True. To training into ships. This will allow new players to clear paths to train into a ship they want to learn how to fly. Right now, any new player that joins will have to wait a year longer to be able to get into the ships they want to fly, because they need to get to that specific tech level. Meanwhile, in a horizontal progression, you can just train the basics and then focus specific on interceptors. So you don't need to train battleships, you don't need to train other stuff just so you get enough skill points to reach a specific tech level. You just need to know frigates, and then you can get the specific skills for interceptor, and it'll take you around, I don't know, 2 or 3 months to specialize in that, but you get to specialize in what you want, not what's being shoved down your throat. And number 3 is inventory management. Oh, cool, yeah, that thing is pretty horrible. Have you tried fitting a ship in a station where you have thousands of items? I did. I'm guessing you did too. The devs have said for over a year now that we'll be getting containers or extra hangars. We need something, and indeed we do. And it's definitely not the paywall that we got for the latest content. I hope that we get something decent out of the April balance patch. Congratulations to our 3 lucky winners, and thank you all for participating. As mentioned, you are all winners because I will be taking your issues and your ideas, and I'll be compiling them and sending them to the devs, I think tomorrow or on Monday. And now for the new community question of the week. Remember, you need to put a comment down below with your answer, and alongside it you need to provide the in-game name and your character ID, because it's going to be easier for me to give out the prizes to the winners. So comment below with your in-game name, character ID, and the answer to the question, which is, are you enjoying the latest content that was released recently? Please drop a comment below and let me know. That's it for today. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you guys for watching. Give a big shout out to my channel supporters, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.